Hello everyone, sorry, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tash McZombie and this is my YouTube channel, and if you're not, welcome back. I am fully aware it has been over a month since I have uploaded any videos, and for that I am sorry, / not sorry, and I will get into that. Just my health has not been the best. So obviously if you watched my last video, you will know that I am currently pregnant. I announced that in my last video and then just didn't upload anything for over a month. Which was not very smart. Well, / I've not had any ideas on what to film. I didn't want to film anything boring. So I just honestly been in a bit of like a rut creatively. So yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm 21 weeks pregnant, I'm halfway through my pregnancy now, and a lot has happened in this past month since I last filmed a video. So, right, why I've not uploaded in a while. As I kind of mentioned, my health has not been the best. It's really not. This pregnancy has been rough. I'm not gonna lie. So when I was pregnant with Ivy 10 years ago, when I was 18, 19, I didn't have morning sickness. I had next to no pregnancy symptoms apart from fatigue. That was it. And it was the easiest pregnancy in the world. It was an easy delivery. Everyone's always like, doctors are always so shocked when I tell them this. And they're like, oh wow. Well, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, it was a one-off, clearly. So, in the first few months, the morning sickness this time round was real, was horrific. Karma got me, all my friends who were pregnant and had morning sickness, and every time I was like, I didn't have morning sickness with Ivy, whole karma got me back for that. I literally took almost a month off work because of morning sickness. I couldn't get out of bed. I could barely leave the house. I couldn't even go into my kitchen because smells would make me throw up. And I already have a really heightened sense of smell, but pregnancy heightens your sense of smell even more. So I would go in my kitchen and throw up everywhere because I would smell cooking, or I would smell the bin, or my cat would have used his litter tray. Oh my god. Thankfully that has passed. Do I still feel sick? Now and then, yes. Do I still get dizzy spells? Oh my god, all the time. They tested me for anemia. I'm not anemic, which I'm surprised because I tend to be anemic a lot anyway, and especially my last pregnancy with Ivy. So, just one of those things. Then, sadly, last month, my cat Quinny passed away. We had to have her put down, and things have not been great. So, obviously, that was a huge... I'd just gotten over all this morning sickness. I was going into the second trimester of pregnancy where it's just so much easier. Things were looking better, and my cat got really, really sick. Now, I may do a separate video that would be quite emotional about adopting animals, especially older animals. I've mentioned Quinny a lot on here, on my social media. She was 19 years old. We adopted her when she was 13, and she got this whole new lease of life with us. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'm going to cry. But sadly, her health really started to deteriorate quickly. She was a chunk of a cat. She loved to eat. And the first sign that something was wrong was she wasn't eating. She was an indoor-outdoor cat. Both my cat, like Buscemi, is as well. And she wasn't going outside, which for her was odd because she loved to go outside. Now, she would if it was a particularly sunny day and she would just sit and sunbathe in the garden, but she wouldn't go hunting, she wouldn't go playing. So, long story short, we discovered that she had cancer in one of her kidneys. Or was it half her liver? I think it was liver cancer. And we were left with the decision, try her on some meds, for a week, but given her age, she wasn't going to make it. And we took her home. She still wasn't eating. And to be honest, we just couldn't make her suffer any longer. And it was such a hard decision to make, because in the back of my head I was like, well, what if she gets better? What if we can have one more week with her? But then our fear was, you know, me and my husband, we both work, my daughter's at school, we're not home 24/7. And the fear was we would come home and find her dead and she'd have been alone, and it would be cruel. So we had to make the hard decision to put her to sleep. And we were with her when they did it, we were holding her, and it was over so quickly. But yeah, I miss her every day. I miss her so much. I mean, Buscemi, he misses her, but he's been so cute and extra affectionate. I think if we didn't have another cat, I just don't think I would have coped at all. So obviously that was a huge throwback for my mental health. And mental health in pregnancy is already really tricky because you've got hormones flying around everywhere, and my mental health isn't the best anyway. So that completely threw me back. And started to feel better, and then I got the diagnosis that I have gestational diabetes, which can happen to any woman in pregnancy, or man. And it came not entirely as a shock, because diabetes runs in my family, but it still wasn't a pleasant thing to find out. Now, so what this means is when you're pregnant, you produce less insulin, and your pregnancy hormones kind of block it. Everything just kind of, your immune system's so crap when you're pregnant as well. Sorry, I'm wearing a hat because my hair is wet and I cannot be bothered going downstairs to dry it, because I'm trying to like not heat damage my hair so much. So yeah, and it can happen to anyone. I didn't have it in my first pregnancy, which again, they're all very shocked. But thinking back, Ivy was £9.8. She was a big baby. Now, this is what gestational diabetes can do. It can cause you to have big babies, especially in their bellies, because they're not getting enough insulin, or they overproduce. I hear very conflicting things, but regardless. So part of me wonders if it just went undiagnosed when I was pregnant with Ivy, or just big babies running my family. Who knows? So that again was a huge throwback for myself, because I felt guilty. I felt like this was my own fault. I felt like I was hurting my baby. And you're not. And these are normal things to think. So if anyone at home is watching this and you have this, or this is a fear that you have that you might get it, it's natural. It can happen to anybody. And the main thing is, once you find out, is that you get on control, you get on top of it. So at the moment, I am controlling it with diet and tablets. So I'm on one tablet of metformin in the evening to try and get my evening levels lower, because obviously when you sleep, your body produces sugar because you're sleeping. So your morning levels are always high. So what this means is I have to test my blood 4 times a day and check that I'm not above the certain level it should be. So I check when I wake up, I check before lunch, I check before dinner, and in 2 hours after dinner. Some people check more, some people spike test. That's the whole thing. People will be given different numbers by their doctors. So I joined this support group on Facebook, this gestational diabetic mums or something, and I am so glad I did. And I signed up for a membership because basically the NHS, the dietitian didn't tell us much, because we had to go to like a class. There was 2 other mothers there, and it was just like, don't eat carbs, don't eat more than 15 grams of carbs in a snack, balance your carbs, have blah 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 blah. And that was kind of it. So I was just kind of put into this world of like, I don't even know what to eat. Some carbs are good, but carbs are mostly bad. I'm not monitoring the sugar levels, I'm monitoring the carbohydrate level. I was just so distraught, because I was like, what can I eat? And I'm going to be very candid here, I has suffered with eating and diets and eating disorders growing up, like as a teenager in my early 20s, especially after I had Ivy Rhodes. You wouldn't think that now looking at me because I've gained so much weight. But I'm healthier now than I was when I was underweight. So being told what I can and can't eat is a huge trigger for me, because that was a thing. That's a story for another day, but that is a big trigger for me. So I was freaking out. I was like, I cannot eat anything. And a friend of mine had messaged me being like, I have it right now. You know, you're not alone. Here's what I do, and here's this support group. And the support group has been a lifesaver. People post, I signed up for a membership, so I have access to recipes. Like, I made a cheesecake. It's a sugar-free cheesecake, but I could eat cheesecake. Basically, this diet is high fat, high protein, low carb, no sugar. So it doesn't feel healthy because you're putting cheese on everything. You're adding cream to everything to counteract the sugar, because the fat and the protein burns quicker. But I've lost some weight. A lot of people say that they lose weight on this diet, even though it does not feel healthy. So at first I was like, I want an apple. Oh, you can't eat an apple unless you cover it in peanut butter or cheese. And I was like, what? But, I mean, I love cheese. And even I am getting to a point, and it's only been 2 weeks, that I'm like, oh my god, cheese. I don't think I can eat any more cheese. And I never thought there were words that would come out my mouth. But I signed up for the membership. I'm going to make a lasagna tonight that basically alters pasta for halloumi. I'm going to make chili. I'm going to make cauliflower cheese. You know, but none of these have flour in them. Like, it's finding alternatives to using flour in foods. You know, there's cake recipes. There's a recipe for brownies, a recipe for Victoria sponge. So if anything, the only positive I can honestly say about this diet is it is making me try new foods. It's making me push myself to eat more veg. It is making me push myself to try and be a bit healthier, be a bit more mindful of what I'm eating. A lot of these recipes are gluten-free, which is great because Ivy Rhodes is gluten-free. So it actually means instead of me having to cook separate dinners for me and Grant and Ivy, or if Grant's at work, you know, 3 different dinners, I can actually just make one big dinner that all 3 of us can sit down together and eat. And if anything, that's something I am grateful for. That it is making me more mindful. What am I putting in my body? You know, I'm eating much more fresh food. I miss fruit. I miss cereal. I miss bread. Oh God, I miss cereal and bananas and strawberries in my cereal. But fruit obviously contains sugars. And when you're pregnant, you want fruit. You want something sweet. So not drinking orange juice every morning, that has been hard. And these are such trivial things, but see, when you're pregnant, oh my god, the hormones are real. So, yes, that's kind of, in a nutshell, what's been going on with me. I'm still working. I still work part-time, so really just 1 day a week at Whittards, and I'm loving it. We have a new manager. She seems really, really nice, which is exciting. We got lots of new people, so I'm actually meeting, socializing. I'm going to do a video soon of like what kind of baby clothes we've kind of been collecting so far, and some of them are gifts, some of them are things we've been collecting, especially all the spooky Halloween stuff in the sale, all the little like skeleton onesies. So many skeleton onesies because such a spooky little baby. I'm currently working with Punky Mums doing their like quote banners and stuff for social media, which has been really, really fun. I started that last night, so I'll be doing that for the next 3 months, which is fun for me because it's actually getting me to be creative again, because I started writing. I'm always started writing, and there's an idea for this big book that is so out there. It involves drag queens, it involves possession, witchcraft, heaven and hell and purgatory and demons and nasty men, and it's feminist as hell. I've planned the first part of the book to be a graphic novel, so it'll be probably in either 3 or 5 parts. I'm not decided yet. But But then I got the diabetes diagnosis and I just was like, I don't want to do anything. I feel rubbish. But doing this thing with Punky Mums, coming up, looking up quotes, making up quotes, like feminist punky quotes, has made me feel like I could get back into being creative. You know, I got my graphics tablet for Valentine's Day, I want to say, from Grant. I used it once. I need to get back into that. So I'm hoping that this is going to give me like that kind of boost of like creativity that I've been missing. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the pregnancy so far. Ivy has been amazing. Grant has been amazing. He's doing this diet with me. He doesn't have to, but he wants to, which is a huge help. Ivy has been wonderful. She's been helping out. She's so ready to be a big sister. And this is a good age gap. There'll be 10 years between them. So yes, and I'm trying not to do a half-hour video like I usually do. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up here and just be like, this is what's been going on. This is why I haven't filmed. Life has been hard. You know, this pregnancy, although it's wonderful, has been rough. It's been the complete opposite to my pregnancy with Ivy. And no two pregnancies are the same. But, you know, I'm still working. I'm trying to be creative. And for those of you wondering, yes, we do know what we're having. So I'm going to try and show you my bump. Try not to get too close. So I have a really big bump right now. Probably a lot of this is bloat, but regardless. So we are having another little girl. So yes, we found out last week we're having another girl. I totally thought we're having a boy because, as I said, pregnancy, polar opposite of pregnancy with Ivy. But we're having another girl. So we have two names picked out, which I won't say at the moment. We love both names equally, so I think once she's here, we'll probably decide what her name will be. And honestly, I'm over the moon to be having another girl. I know what I'm doing. If I'm 100% honest, I know what I'm doing. So we are so happy. Everyone is over the moon. And yes, so that's kind of it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If any of this was helpful for anyone, I'm glad I could help. If you have any questions at all about the diabetes, about pregnancy, about anything, just comment below, because I'm aware this video is a bit different to what I usually do, but I just kind of felt like, as I said, I haven't filmed in over a month. I kind of needed to do a life update. So if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more from me and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you check the information box, I will have my Instagram and my Twitter linked there if you want to follow me on my social media. And until next time, I hope you all are well and take care.